Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Today, the first day of August, August the 1st, significant. You're thinking significant for what? Well, significant because today is the day when Alexis Sanchez should be returning to training. Of course, he was in the Confederations Cup, given an extended break. Was supposed to have been back yesterday, called in sick. But he should be back today. Now, what is going to happen with Alexis Sanchez now? I think, we're beginning to come down to crunch time. Will we get a decision? I mean, we've heard this from both parties, right? We heard Alexis Sanchez say, after the Confederations Cup, you're going to hear from me. You're going to hear what my decision is. We haven't heard anything. The club are adamant that he's staying. Surely over the next sort of week or so, 2 weeks, we're going to get a clearer picture on what is happening with Alexis Sanchez. Will he play in the Community Shield? I mean, there's so many questions to be answered. And as I said, I mean, we already went over it yesterday. The stuff that Arsene Wenger was coming out with about the ideal situation when it comes to the players that have still got contracts outstanding and nothing signed. It's not an ideal situation. It's an absolute nightmare. Every day of the summer, we've been talking about Alexis. We've been talking about Oxlade-Chamberlain, again today being linked with a move to Chelsea. It has to get done. It has to get sorted. And hopefully we'll get a clearer picture over the next couple of days of what either way is going to happen. The other thing I wanted to find out, right, is really interesting at the weekend after the Emirates Cup. A lot of fans coming out and saying, we need a defender. We need a centre-back. Why has Arsene Wenger not bought a centre-back? And I was looking at the situation this morning. These are the current centre-backs. And this is what I couldn't understand in the Emirates Cup, why it seemed, and even on tour, it seemed to be we always had a makeshift centre-half playing. We know that Gabriel's out injured at the moment, but here are our current centre-halves. Koscielny, Gabriel, Mustafi, Chambers, Holding, and Mertesacker. That's 6 centre-halves we've got. 6, right? Now, a lot of you guys out there saying that we need a centre-half. A lot of you out there saying, why don't we move for Virgil van Dijk? He's out there. I mean, Southampton playing hardball, particularly with Liverpool because of the way they went about trying to get the deal done. Why don't Arsenal go in there, try and put a big bid in and bring him? He's a commanding centre-half. We saw him in the Premier League last year. He's very good. He's a leader. Why don't we go and get somebody like him in? But then what happens then to Mustafi, who we paid last year £35 million for, German international? What happens to Rob Holding? Does his career get pushed back because a new centre-half comes in? What happens to Chambers? He could be on his way out anyway. Gabriel, I mean, that's the juggling act of a manager. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you think we need a centre-back? Right? Because a lot of you saying, and I just gave you the list there again, lots of names there. Do we need a centre-back? Yes or no? I'm going to do a poll on it. Let me know. It's really, really interesting, this one. We've got a load of centre-backs, but do we still need another one? Jean-Michel Seri linked with Arsenal yet again today. Now, Seri, as we know, plays for Nice. Going to get a clearer picture of what's happening with Nice because they've got this playoff qualifier against Ajax, in which if they win that, they progress in the Champions League. If they lose, they're out of the Champions League. But Seri still being linked with Arsenal today. We've also been told that Spurs are in the hunt for him and also Everton. So it's not just Arsenal after his signature, but Arsenal said to be the favourites to sign Jean-Michel Seri. Again, do we need Seri? Do we need a player like that? I mean, we do need a creative deep line player. I do think we do need that. But Seri being linked with Arsenal today. And Lucas Perez. Where is he going to end up? Now, Deportivo La Coruña, they're desperate to get him back. They've even offered him like a sort of long-term coaching role when he eventually finishes his career, if he comes back to La Coruña. But the thing is about it, they're just not willing to pay the sort of money that Arsenal are after. The team that could get Lucas Perez is Newcastle. It would be a good signing for Newcastle if they did get him. But Newcastle said to be really interested. They're sort of pinning their hopes that Arsenal have dropped their price on Lucas Perez to about £13.4 million, and they may swoop to bring Perez into Newcastle. So Perez, he's definitely going to be on his way out. Again, didn't figure in any of the pre-seasons. So players like him, Debuchy, Carl Jenkinson, you know, these guys definitely on their way out. You know, they need to get them off the wage bill. They're all on very good wages, by the way. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Thanks for watching the show today. As I said, vote in that poll, and don't forget to sponsor me if you can, only if you can, right? Sponsor me in my March for Men, where I'm going to be walking around all the Premier League grounds in London. That is starting next week, ending up at the Emirates Stadium on the final day, which is the 11th, just in time for our first game against Leicester City. Let's hope we're a bit more better prepared and get off to a better start than we did last year, and the year before, and the year before. Thanks for watching the show today.